The first thing people imagine when they hear luxury vacation is champagne and ocean views. For me, it started with a spreadsheet. Flights, a beachfront resort, airport transfers, dinners I booked weeks in advance. I had the confirmations stacked neatly in my email, each one with my name on it and my card on file. My sister had mentioned months earlier that everyone needed a break, that the family hadn't spent real time together in years. I said I'd take care of it. I told myself it was generosity, but if I'm honest, it was also hope. Hope that if I carried enough weight, maybe I'd finally feel like I belonged inside the family instead of orbiting around it. For a while, everything moved forward normally. My sister would send quick messages about outfits, excursions, beach bars she'd seen online. My mother asked about the weather there. The plan had momentum. Then the tone shifted. At first it was small things. Conversations that seemed to happen without me. My sister would message afterward with summaries instead of including me in the discussion. Just some planning stuff, she'd say. I ignored it. One evening she called instead of texting. Her voice sounded careful, like someone stepping onto thin ice. So, we might have a small issue with the rooms. I leaned against the kitchen counter, phone tucked between my shoulder and ear. What kind of issue? Well, she said, hesitating, Josh might be able to come now. Josh was her boyfriend, nice enough in small doses. Not someone I'd planned a vacation around. That's good, I said. We can add him. Another pause. The thing is, the resort's kind of full now. And flights are crazy expensive. I waited. Her next sentence came out softer. So we were thinking, maybe you could sit this one out. Just this time. There it was. Said like a practical suggestion. Like rearranging chairs at dinner. I didn't argue. I remember staring at the list of bookings open on my laptop while she explained the logistics. How Josh hadn't had a vacation in years. How the couple deserved time together. How we'd all do something bigger next year. It was strange how calm I sounded when I said okay. She seemed relieved. Really? You're okay with it? Yeah, I said. We hung up soon after. I sat there for a long time. Not angry exactly. More like something inside me had quietly finished calculating. Every reservation had my name on it. The next morning I made a phone call to the airline. The woman on the line sounded cheerful, professional. Yes, I can process that cancellation for you. One by one the confirmations disappeared. Flights refunded. Resort booking released. Airport transfers removed. The spreadsheet I'd built over months collapsed into a blank page. It took about 40 minutes. 3 days later my phone started buzzing while I was at work. At first it was just one message from my sister. Hey, weird question. Did the resort email you about something? Then another. Call me when you can. By the time I stepped outside for a break, there were 6 messages. I called her. She picked up immediately. What happened to the reservation? She asked. I leaned against the brick wall behind the building. I canceled it. There was a long silence followed by a confused laugh. What do you mean you canceled it? Well, I said carefully, I wasn't going on the trip anymore. So there wasn't really a trip. Her tone changed quickly. But we're still going. Not with those bookings. Another pause, this one sharper. Can you just fix it? It was said like a routine problem. Like asking someone to reset a password. I looked down at the street for a moment before answering. I can't. You made the reservations, she said. Just call them again. They're gone, I replied. Her voice rose slightly. So what are we supposed to do now? I didn't have an answer for that. Over the next hour my phone filled with messages from my mother and a couple of cousins who had heard about the situation. No one yelled. The tone was mostly confusion, mixed with quiet pressure. It turned out that when they tried to rebook everything themselves, the prices had doubled. The flights that had been easy months ago were almost sold out now. The resort had only scattered dates left. The effortless vacation they'd assumed would exist didn't. A few days later my mother called. She spoke gently. the way people do when they're trying to smooth out a conflict without choosing sides. "Your sister's really stressed about this trip," she said. "I understand. Maybe there's a way you could help them sort it out." I thought about that for a moment. For years I had been the person who solved problems quietly, paid deposits, filled gaps, made situations comfortable for everyone else. But something about this moment felt different. "I think they'll figure it out," I said. The trip never happened. They tried for a while, looking at other destinations, cheaper hotels, different dates, but the whole thing slowly dissolved. A few weeks later I booked a small place by a lake a few hours away. Nothing fancy, just a cabin and a quiet shoreline. I didn't tell anyone about it. On the second evening there, I sat on the dock watching the water turn dark with the sunset. No itinerary, no group chats, no complicated logistics, just silence. For the first time in years, I realized something simple. Generosity feels different when it isn't expected. My sister and I still talk now. Birthdays, holidays, occasional check-ins. But the balance between us has changed. Not dramatically, not loudly. Just enough that I no longer feel like the person responsible for carrying everything. And strangely enough, that quiet shift feels better than any luxury vacation I could have paid for.